You hear me? Can you hear me? You hear me now?
I'm not sure if the courtroom, I'm not sure if the courtroom can hear me, but I can hear the bailiff on the one screen, but I cannot hear anything from the courtroom.
We should be good now. Can you hear me?
Bailiff, I can hear you, but I'm over at the courthouse. I still can't hear anything from the courtroom at the PSB either, and I think they're working on it.
Okay.
So Miss Murphy can't hear us either.
Seems that way.
Now I can't, Commissioner, now I can.
Oh. All right, Miss Murphy can. Bailiff, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, so let's do this. Court will call 25 CF 2457, State of Wisconsin versus TRAVION Flowers. Appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
TRAVION Flowers appears by video and in custody with Brianna Zawada. Mr. Flowers, have you gotten a copy of your criminal complaint?
Yes.
Thank you. He's received a copy of it. We waive its formal reading. Stand mute on any misdemeanor charges. He is eligible for public defender representation.
I have reviewed the criminal complaint. I do make a probable cause finding as to the misdemeanors and enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Flowers' behalf. State's position on bail.
Your Honor, the state is recommending $5,000 cash bail for Mr. Flowers with the non-monetary condition that he not operate a motor vehicle. He's alleged to have eluded from law enforcement and then ran from police on foot and was not captured. He is wanted for another eluding charge at the time of this offense. He missed court on May 13th of 2025 in two open felony matters. That's 25 CF 63 and 25 CF 614. The warrant was served on him, looks like 2 weeks later. And in those cases, it looks like he had posted $1,000 respectively. So I think significant cash bail is appropriate given the flee and the missed court appearance.
Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. We are asking for a signature bond in this case. Mr. Flowers is eligible for public defender representation. So that suggests he does not have an ability to post amount of cash, and in particular, thousands of dollars of cash. Mr. Flowers is being charged with, at the highest penalty level, a Class H felony. I'm not trying to downplay the seriousness, but we are on the lower level felony side of conduct here. Mr. Flowers also, I believe, is on probation. And so if he were to be released, he would be subject to additional monitoring by the Department of Corrections. So I believe a signature bond is appropriate here. Thank you.
Given that he was wanted on a prior eluding charge, given that he's got missed court appearances, I do believe cash bail is necessary to assure Mr. Flowers' appearance at court. Looking at the allegations in this, it's another eluding. We've also got a fleeing from the vehicle. There's also almost a head-on collision at about 60 miles per hour. Given all of that conduct, I do believe Mr. Flowers is a flight risk. Therefore, I will set cash bail in the amount of $3,000. I will order that you not operate a motor vehicle during the pendency of this action. We are adjourned in Mr. Flowers' case. Oh, wait, no, we're not. Time limits on the preliminary hearing.
We'll keep time limits. Thank you.
Time limits are not waived and a preliminary hearing shall be scheduled timely. We are adjourned in Mr. Flowers' case.
Did you have like any forfeitures or something you could do?
We do have some forfeitures, but do we have anything we need Fred for?
We have the next Zoom would be for Fred, potentially. Or
Which one's that?
we'll see, LINO. We'll see, they don't, but we know.
That's forfeiture.
I'll take 1 minute or 2.
Even better.
It's set up.
Oh, and do other ones. This is all I got this afternoon, so.
Okay.
And it's also a forfeiture, so I could take that opportunity.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's gonna happen with them? Me and Jose Lino on a wave runner. You heard that story?
Yeah.
You guys have a lot, so they didn't have to stop everything for me to.
She's talking with someone, so we can't go on unless we have another ordinance that we can do.
We have Jason Ford. He said he's ready with LINO. Second. We'll say he's ready with LINO. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Court will call 25 FO 2307 Dane County versus Jose Lino.
La Corte va a llamar el caso 25 FO 2307, el condado contra José Lino.
Appearances.
Comparecencias.
Jack Schneider for the county. Jose Lino appears via Zoom from the Dane County Jail.
Jack Snyder por parte del condado, José Lino compareciendo por video Zoom de la cárcel del condado.
Interpreter Fred Svensson is translating.
El intérprete Fred Svensson está traduciendo.
Mr. Lino, you've been charged with an ordinance violation of county theft.
Señor Lino, le han acusado de una violación de las ordenanzas por ratería del condado.
I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty to this offense.
Voy a entrar en el acta una declaración no culpable.
The court is familiar with Mr. Lino in regards to his prior competency and incompetency issues, and therefore is determining to enter a not guilty plea on his behalf and have the case set for further proceedings.
La Corte está familiarizado con los casos del señor Lino y su determinación anterior sobre su competencia mental o su falta de competencia mental, Así que la Corte va a entrar en el acta una declaración no culpable y posponer el caso para otros procesos.
We are adjourned in Mr. Lino's case.
Estamos concluidos en el caso del señor Lino. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good holiday, Thanksgiving.
You guys have a great holiday. Turn that off.
Should we do Ford?
That's us, yes.
Mr. Ford.
Roll call 25 FO 230 Board Dane County versus Jason Ford appearances.
Jack Schneider for the county. Jason Ford appears in person without custody.
Mr. Ford, I have what some consider good news. The police department referred up criminal charges against you. The DA's office reviewed those police reports and decided not to charge you criminally. Instead, they've charged you with a county disorderly conduct citation. It's similar to a parking ticket. It is non-criminal. If this is the only thing holding you in custody, no matter what you plead on this case here today, you're going to be released. Sometimes it's a case that can get resolved today. What is the county's offer for resolution?
For cause only.
If you were to plead guilty or no contest to this disorderly conduct charge, I would assess court costs, which would be $114.50. You'd have time to pay it. If you wish to plead not guilty, that's absolutely your right, and this ordinance violation can be set for further proceedings. How do you wish to plead to this county municipal violation?
Guilty.
I'll find you guilty. I'll assess court cost of $114.50. You'll have some time to pay it, and it takes care of this case. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Right this way. Mr. Doss. Dennis will. Dennis Wills. Will, paperwork, we stand on the yellow X.
Court will call 25 CM 2835, State of Wisconsin versus Dennis Wills. Appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
Dennis Willis appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. He's received a copy of the criminal complaint, understands its sole charge and maximum penalty. We waive its formal reading, stand mute on the charge. He indicates that he does not wish to have an SPD attorney.
This is a criminal case, sir. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, the public defender's office may be qualifying for you. It sounds like you want to hire one on your own expense. Make sure you do any efforts to go forward to get yourself an attorney to be represented. I have reviewed the criminal complaint. It does state probable cause. I will enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Will's behalf. State's position on bail.
State's recommending a signature bond with a non-monetary condition that Mr. Wills have no contact with Joanna. That's JOANNA, last initial C.
Your Honor, we don't have an objection to the signature bond. We are asking that you consider not imposing the no contact here. They do have a child in common. The underlying charge is a disorderly conduct, so not the most serious of charges. It's nonviolent in nature. And with that pre-existing relationship, I think that outweighs the harm of having contact here. Thank you.
Do you have any input from the victim in this case? And was the 72-hour signed? I don't see.
I do not, Your Honor.
Given I have no additional information, I am going to order no acts or threats of violence towards Joanna C. during the pendency of this action and a signature bond from Mr. Wills. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
This way, sir. Next is Michael HORAN for a bill bond. Michael HORAN. Please stand on the yellow fence.
Hi there. My name is
Court will call 25 CF 1720 and 25 CM 1409 for bail hearings. State of Wisconsin versus Michael HORAN appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
Okay, thank you. Michael HORAN appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada.
We're here on a return on bench warrant. Does the state wish to hear from counsel first?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're asking that you reinstate prior bond here. As to the missed court appearance, Mr. HORAN told me he did not get notice or any mail regarding that court appearance. I do think it's worth noting that he appeared for Winnebago Mental Health during the initial appearance and then missed the hearing thereafter. So I certainly think that it's possible notice wasn't given to him. In any event, there seems to be some related mental health issue that might have impacted appearing in court at that time. So we're asking that you, we're asking that you reinstate prior bond in this matter.
I'm looking at the notice that was printed out with his signature on it that has the September 15th date at 1:20 that he missed. State's position.
Your Honor, I do think that cash bail in the amount of $500 in the felony is appropriate and $250 is appropriate in the misdemeanor. It does look like he had notice for that September appearance. And it looks like Mr. HORAN was out on a warrant on his Chapter 151 commitment prior to the felony case and then resisted physically and spit on a law enforcement officer. So I do think some cash bail is appropriate here.
In 25 CM 1409, I will set cash bail in the amount of $200 and reinstate all non-monetary conditions. In 25 CF 1720, I will set cash bail in the amount of $200 and reinstate all non-monetary conditions. Given the failure to appear, the prior Chapter 51 warrant, and the actual notice in hand with the signature bond that was signed by him, I do believe that his appearance is unlikely at future court appearances. We are adjourned in Mr. HORAN's cases.
Okay. $400 total. Okay. That was what it said. Okay. Thank you.
When we are ready, MARQUIS WEBSTER is next. Hey guys, we down here today, right? Yeah, it is. Mr. Webster. They're on fire.
Court will call 25 CM 2824, State of Wisconsin versus MARQUIS WEBSTER. Appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
Marquis Webster appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. He's received a copy of the criminal complaint. We waive its formal reading, stand mute on the misdemeanor charges. It's indicated that there will be a private attorney on this case. I'll just be with you today.
I have reviewed the criminal complaint. I do make a probable cause finding and entering not guilty plea on Mr. Webster's behalf to the charges. State's position on bail.
Your Honor, the state is recommending a signature bond for Mr. Webster with the non-monetary condition that he direct no acts or threats of violence towards Shemikia. That's SHEMEKIA, last initial G.
Any objection, counsel?
No objection, thank you.
I will then order a signature bond for Mr. Webster. I will order that you not direct any acts or threats of violence towards Shemikia
G, excuse me.
Shemikia G in this case. Good luck to you, sir. Well said.
Next is Tyler Smith appearing via Zoom. When we're ready. Smith is listed as available on hearing. Oh. What's you leave? Probably too boring. Yeah, I thought about seeing.
Court will call 25 CM 1506, State of Wisconsin versus Tyler Smith, appearances.
Jackson Ader for the state.
Tyler Smith appears by video and in custody with Brianna Zawada.
We're here for a bail hearing. Mr. Smith, what is your current address?
600 Williamson Street is my mailing address.
Okay. State's position on bail.
Your Honor, it looks like Mr. Smith received notice in hand at a July 8th hearing here in the Dane County Jail. I would ask for $500 cash bail.
Position, counsel.
Your Honor, thank you. We'd ask that you reinstate prior bond. I did notice that Eric Schluter filed a motion to quash the warrant in this case back on November 18th. And in that case, we're currently scheduled for a hearing on that motion on December 15th. So it looks like Mr. Smith was taking active steps to address that warrant. It appears that he wasn't actively evading court here. He's got significant ties to Dane County, lived here all his life. So we think reinstatement of prior bond is appropriate. Thank you.
Given the non-appearance, given the notice in hand, I do believe some small cash bail is necessary to assure Mr. Smith's appearance at court. I will set cash bail in the amount of $200 and reinstate all non-monetary conditions. We are adjourned in Mr. Smith's case.
Shit. I don't have $200. Well, I do, but
When we are ready, Russell Junius is next. Russell Julius. $70.
Roll call 25 CM 2831 and 25 CM 2832, State of Wisconsin. Oh, I'm sorry, and 25 CM 2830, State of Wisconsin versus Russell Junius appearances.
Objection added for the state.
Russell Junius appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. He's received copies of the criminal complaints. We waive its formal reading, stand mute on the misdemeanor charges. He is eligible for public defender representation.
I have reviewed the criminal complaints. I do make the probable cause findings to all of the charges, which are misdemeanors, and enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Junius's behalf. State's position on bail.
Your Honor, in 25 CM 2831, the state is recommending a signature bond with standard non-monetary conditions for Mr. Junius. In 25 CM 2830, the state is also recommending a signature bond with the non-monetary conditions that if no contact with Terriana, that's TERRIANA, last initial B as in boy, and that he be banned from the 2100 block of Schlimgen Avenue in Madison, that's SCHLIMGEN.
Any objection, counsel?
So she's the mother in process. And then I know that the police there is connected up kind of with consideration of that process. Someone absolutely installed as well. And what would that mean? You say Carter across. The first signature bond. Yeah, things are the signature bond, so if you get help, of course, office with your updated address. Thank you, Your Honor. We don't have an objection to the signature bonds here or the geographical no contact. That is his current address. He indicates that he will be updating the court with an updated address. He does have somewhere else to go. With that in mind, he's asking that you consider not imposing the no contact with Terriana B. They have a child in common. At the very least, he's asking for third-party contact so he can arrange childcare.
In 25 CM 2831, I will give Mr. Junius a signature bond and in 25 CM 2830, I will give Mr. Junius a signature bond. Conditions will include that he be banned from the 2100 block of Schlimgen Avenue. It looks like Terriana B did sign the 72-hour no contact, and there's a degree of violence that's alleged here that does warrant a no contact. So I will order during the pendency of this action, no contact with Terriana B. He can't call, write, text. You must have no contact with her whatsoever. We are adjourned in Mr. Junius's cases.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't commit new crime.
No, it is.
Atkinson, David.
That was. Thank you. Oh, I see.
Next to David Atkinson, appearing via Zoom for forfeiture.
Court will call 25-FO-2306, Dane County versus David Atkinson, appearances.
Jack Schneider for the county. David Atkinson appears via Zoom from the Dane County Jail.
Mr. Atkinson, I have what some consider good news. The police department referred up criminal charges against you. The DA's office read those criminal charges and decided not to charge you criminally. Instead, they charged you with an ordinance violation of county resisting obstructing. It's similar to a parking ticket. It is a non-criminal offense. Regardless of your plea in this case, if this is the only thing holding you in custody, you're going to be released. Sometimes it's a case that can be resolved here today. What is the county's offer for resolution?
It'd be courthouse only.
If you plead guilty or no contest to this ordinance violation, I would find you guilty and assess court costs of $114 and you'd have some time to pay. If you wish to plead not guilty, that's absolutely your right, and the case will get set for further proceedings. Mr. Atkinson, how would you like to plead to this ordinance violation?
You want to plead guilty or not guilty? Did you want to plead guilty or not guilty? So if you plead guilty, it's $114. They're still going to release you today. You'll have some time to pay. Otherwise, they'll get you a future court date.
Even if he pleads not guilty, he'll be released today.
I'll take something. Commissioner said he wants to take the citation.
He wants to what?
Yeah, I'll take the citation. I want to say that it don't got nothing to do with any of the spiritual or kingdom property that was seized. I want to make that. I want to say that some of the seizures that went on that were kingdom property. Yeah, I mean, it don't got nothing to do with the $114. Is that okay?
This has to do with a county of resisting obstructing that you're charged with, this ordinance violation. If you want to plead not guilty, that's your right. We can set it for further proceedings. If you want to plead guilty.
I'll plead no contest.
Okay, I'll find you guilty based on your no contest plea.
Property the property that was taken from the officers. You know what I'm saying?
You'll have to take that up with them. This has nothing to do with it. I'll find you guilty based on your no contest plea. And I'll set. And I'm gonna assess the fine of $114.50, okay? This just takes care of this case, and if it's the only thing holding you in, you're gonna be released, okay?
All right.
Good luck to you, sir.
When we are ready, NEBEL is next. NEBEL.
Court will call 25 CF 2688, State of Wisconsin versus Mark NEBEL, appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
So you don't have, so it's, did you have a good mailing? Okay, so if you get out today, please update that with the clerk of courts, so they can send you mail, okay? You're good. Grabbing this. And Mark NEBEL appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. He's received a copy of the criminal complaint. We waive its formal reading. We are unaware of whether or not he's eligible for public defender representation.
Mr. NEBEL, this is a felony matter. You need to make sure that you apply at the public defender's office, see if you qualify for an attorney. If they turn you down, you can appeal that decision. You can always hire an attorney at your own expense, but this is a felony matter and you have a right to be represented by counsel. For this case, I have reviewed the criminal complaint. I do make a probable cause finding as to the 3 misdemeanor charges and enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. State's position on bail.
State's recommending a signature bond with non-monetary conditions that Mr. NEBEL be banned from the 200 block of East Mifflin Street and that he not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription.
Any objection, counsel?
No, thank you.
Sir, I'm gonna order a signature bond for you today. I'm gonna order as a condition that you not be in the 200 block of East Mifflin Street and that you not possess or consume any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. Time limits as to the preliminary.
You're willing to wait having 1 days, we can find it, 10 more times to find permission. And you'll also need to apply if you want to be eligible for the defender. Oh, he's willing to waive time limits.
Those are waived. A status conference shall be scheduled. Good luck to you, Mr. NEBEL.
This place, right? Next is Jason Morgan for a bail bond hearing. Jason Morgan. They work. They see on the yellow X.
Court will call cases 24 CT 691, 25 CM 2827. That one's for an initial appearance, and the 25 CT 352. The two traffics are for bail hearings. State of Wisconsin versus Jason Morgan. Appearances.
Objection added for the state.
Jason Morgan appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. He's received a copy of the criminal complaint. We waive its formal reading, reserve all jurisdictional insufficiency objections, stand mute on the misdemeanor charges. We are unaware of his eligibility for public defender.
I have reviewed the 25 CM 2827. I do make a probable cause finding and enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. State's position on the bail hearing and the newest case.
Your Honor, in the new case 25 CM 2827, the state is recommending $500 cash bail for Mr. Morgan. He failed to appear at a court appearance on July 17th as well as October 20th of this year. And in this matter, he continues to violate very specific conditions of bail to not operate motor vehicles without a valid license or an ignition interlock device. And in the two hearings that we are returning on warrant, the state would be asking for $250 cash bail.
Your Honor, we're asking that you impose signature bonds in these cases and reinstate prior bond in the cases for which he has a bail bond hearing. I understand there's a missed court appearance. Mr. Morgan told me that his grandfather is not in good health and he has been helping to take care of his grandfather, which is the explanation for the missed court appearance. Ultimately, the conduct here, I believe, is all traffic infractions in those underlying cases, and then bail jumpings for driving. I don't believe there's any allegations of erratic driving or anything unsafe. I believe he was pulled over for not having his car properly registered. So I understand that those are still violations of the law, but they are misdemeanor level violations as well as what would otherwise be not particularly criminal conduct. He was operating a vehicle. And so for those reasons, we think a signature bond would be more appropriate. Thank you.
Looking at 24 CT 691, he's got multiple failure to appear. The only time he did appear was when he had $150 cash bail posted voluntarily. That reverted to a signature bond, and then he promptly failed to appear again. On 25 CT 352, he failed to appear, and now we've got 25 CM 2827. Given the multiple failure to appears and the fact that cash seems to be the only thing making Mr. Morgan appear voluntarily, the court has no choice but to set cash bail to assure his appearance at future court dates. In 24 CT 691, I will set $150 and reinstate all non-monetary conditions. And then 25 CT 352, I will set $150 and reinstate all non-monetary conditions. And 25 CM 2827, I will set $200 and order that you not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. We are adjourned in Mr. Morgan's cases.
This one is correct.
Take care.
Thank you. When we are ready, next is CORDERO CLIDES.
Court will call 25 CF 2687, State of Wisconsin versus CORDERO CLIDES appearances.
Jackson Edit for the state of Wisconsin.
Cordero Coker appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. He's received a copy of the criminal complaint. We waive its formal reading. Stand mute on the misdemeanor charge. He is eligible for public defender representation.
I have reviewed the criminal complaint. I will make a probable cause finding and enter not guilty to any misdemeanors. State's position on bail.
Your Honor, at this time, the state is recommending $7,500 cash bail for Mr. Coker. Here, he's stopped in law enforcement operation. He has a loaded firearm in his coat pocket. He has cocaine as well as marijuana on him as well. He blatantly tries to say that the drugs are his, but the gun is not. He has a prior conviction for a flee and elude. He has a prior conviction from 2023, it looks like, for felon in possession of a firearm. He has a prior conviction for first-degree recklessly endangering safety with use of a dangerous weapon. From the state's perspective, this case is incredibly strong, but also one that leads to incarceration. So from the state's perspective, significant cash bail is appropriate for Mr. Coker.
State's position or defense position.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Coker is asking for a signature bond in this case. I understand the charges are serious, but Mr. Coker is eligible for public defender representation and is not able to post any amount of cash here in this case. He does have significant ties to this area. He's lived in Dane County for the past 20 years. He's got 6 children that live in the area and he wants to be out there in the community for his children. He additionally has extended families, parents, siblings, essentially his whole family here in town. He was previously working about 2 months ago at Olivia's, so he's not a flight risk. I haven't heard anything from the state about prior missed court appearances. It sounds like Mr. Coker has consistently made those, which indicates that a cash bond is not necessary to assure court appearances. We're asking that you consider a signature bond. Thank you.
Mr. Coker was convicted of possession of a firearm in March 20th of 23. He was also convicted of possession of a firearm on December 11th of 21. He was also convicted of possession of a firearm on October 26th and 15 of 2015 with that first degree reckless endangering safety. This is the fourth charge for possession of a firearm against Mr. Coker. And looking at those previous cases, there aren't missed court appearances because they all involve firearms and he has cash bail set. So he doesn't have the opportunity to miss court. Given the severity of this offense with that criminal history, I do believe Mr. Coker is a flight risk. I will set cash bail in the amount of $5,000. I will order that he not go armed with any dangerous weapons. I will order that he not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. We are adjourned in Mr. Coker's case. Oh, time limit. Sorry, hold on.
We'll keep time limits. Thank you.
A preliminary hearing shall be scheduled timely.
Conditions to ask for them to give a full fraction.
When we're ready, next is Gregory.
Thank you.
Court will call 25 CF 2685, State of Wisconsin versus Gregory Wiessinger, appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
Oh, yeah.
And you got a hold right now.
Yeah. Write it down and try and replicate. Hopefully, you know,
And how do you pronounce your last name?
decent. Thanks
Wiessinger.
for asking.
Gregory Wiessinger appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. He's received a copy of the criminal complaint. We waive its formal reading. Stand mute on any misdemeanor charges. He is eligible for public defender representation. The address on the criminal complaint is correct.
I have reviewed the criminal complaint. As to the misdemeanor charge, I do make a probable cause finding and enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. State's position on bail.
One moment, Your Honor. Don't currently have access to my notes. I'm just working to restore that.
Yeah. Do you think charge really get APR? They've already had a conversation. Yeah. Well,
That's.
but you have to get those.
Apologies, Your Honor. At this time, the state is recommending $2,000 cash bail. Mr. Wiesinger was on probation for approximately a month when he decided here to get intoxicated and make physical threats to violence towards law enforcement before spitting bloody saliva at officers. By his own statements, he says he's been to jail 60 times and runs the jail. And it looks like cash bail has been the only thing to get him to appear for court in the past. There's been bench warrants issued on April 22nd and 23rd of last year in 2 separate felony cases. There's bench warrant in May of 2023, as well as October of 2022. So from the state's perspective, cash bail is appropriate to ensure his appearance moving forward.
Pence.
Thank you. Mr. Wiesinger is asking that you consider a signature bond in this case. He is eligible for public defender representation, so he does not have any assets to post a cash bond here. He's lived in Dane County his entire life. It looks like he's got essentially his entire family here. So he's not a flight risk. He's lived in town his whole life. He's not going anywhere. He was also employed very recently, up until looks like about a week ago at One Time Steakhouse here in, what's that? One Prime, thank you, steakhouse in Madison. And so it looks like he is employable in our community. I think the conduct here in the complaint is very clearly related to a substance abuse underlying issue here. And I think that that suggests that what he needs to be out is in the community and in treatment. So we're asking that you consider a signature bond here. Thank you.
Looking at Mr. Wiesinger's previous case where he was just put on probation, there's a PSA report in that case. And in that case, at that time, it gave him 5 out of 6 on a new criminal activity, 4 out of 6 on failure to appears, has prior failure to appears older than 2 years, prior sentences to incarceration, pending charges at the time of the offense, obviously not pending now, they are convictions, prior felony convictions. Given all of that and Mr. Wiesinger's recent plea to charges and the alleged new conduct, I believe cash bail is necessary to assure his appearance at future court dates. I'll set it in the amount of $500. I will order that you not consume or possess any alcohol during the pendency of this action.
Yes, very understandable.
Time limits for the preliminary hearing, sir.
We'll keep them. Thank you.
Do you want your hearing sooner or later?
Probably, what do you?
No, I'm giving you no legal advice. I'm just saying if you want it sooner, then you
You have
keep
to
the
let-
time limits. If you want it later to get an attorney, then you can waive the time.
Especially if you're gonna be investing.
Yeah. So.
Yep, we'll set, time limits are not waived and we'll set it for a preliminary hearing timely. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take care.
Thank you. When we're ready, BLAS PEREZ is next. BLAS PEREZ.
Court will call cases 25 CF 2686 and 25 CM 2834, State of Wisconsin versus BLAS PEREZ. Appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
I'll talk to Paul. He'll be taking these cases too. Mr. Perez appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zalata. He's received a copy of the criminal complaint. We waive its formal reading, stand mute on the misdemeanor charges. The address on the complaint is correct, and he is eligible for public defender representation.
I have reviewed the criminal complaints as to the misdemeanor charges. I do enter probable cause findings and not guilty pleas on Mr. Perez's behalf. State's position on bail.
Your Honor, in the felony matter, the state is recommending $3,000 cash bail for Mr. Perez with the non-monetary conditions that he be banned from all Target stores and that he not use or possess alcohol. Combined with the misdemeanor case that we are here for today, this is Mr. Perez's, these are Mr. Perez's 10th and 11th open cases. From my understanding, all of those are related to stealing alcohol from retailers. And also, from my understanding, he posted what looks like a combined $2,500 cash bail in his 5 most recent cases, and that did nothing to deter this conduct. So from the state's perspective, we're limited with options here, and an additional cash bail is appropriate. In the misdemeanor case, essentially the same reasoning, but since it's a misdemeanor, the state is recommending $1,000 cash bail with no contact or a ban from target locations, as well as no use or possession of alcohol.
Is there any amount of cash you think you could post? Thank you. Mr. Perez is asking that you consider either a signature bond or much lower cash, something in the low hundreds of dollars. That's the most Mr. Perez would be able to post at this time. He's not able to post very much, as evidenced by his public defender representation here today. Obviously, I know that what makes this more aggravated is the number of cases here, but ultimately the underlying conduct here are retail thefts. I do note in my review of the criminal complaint, the items were recovered in the felony retail theft. And so there was not a loss to the victim in that way. Mr. Perez has 7 total children that all live with him and in town, so he's not a flight risk. He's got significant ties here. He's lived in Wisconsin the past 32 years of his life. And so he's certainly $3,000 is more than he's able to post and more than necessary to ensure future court appearances. So we're asking either a signature bond or lower cash. Thank you.
I'm looking at one of his prior cases that just came through on October 15th of 25. There was a PSA report which gave him 4 out of 6 on new criminal activity, 5 out of 6 on failure to appears. Notes he has got prior sentences to incarceration, pending cases, 2 or more failures to appear in the last 2 years. Given all of that, given the new cases, given the felony charge, and the failure to appears, I think cash bail and higher cash bail is necessary. In the felony matter, I will set cash bail in the amount of $2,000, and I will order that you are banned from all Target stores. In the misdemeanor, I will set cash bail in the amount of $700, and I will order that you are banned from all Target stores. In both cases, I will also order that you not use, consume or possess any alcohol. Time limits as to the preliminary hearing, counsel.
We'll keep them. Thank you.
Preliminary hearing shall be scheduled timely as the time limits are not waived. We are adjourned in Mr. Perez's cases.
And I'm assuming Paul is going to take his cases as well. So it's a total of $2,700. Just if you wanted to get out today, it would have to be that.
They did not waive.
When we are ready, DAKOTA LAWVER is next. DAKOTA LAWVER.
Court will call 25 CM 2832, State of Wisconsin versus DAKOTA LAWVER, appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
Dakota Lovner appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. He's received a copy of the complaint, understands the charges and maximum penalties. We stand mute on the misdemeanors. Waive its formal reading. He is eligible for public defender representation and the address on the complaint is correct.
I have reviewed the criminal complaint. I do make a probable cause finding. I will enter not guilty pleas on Mr. Lawver's behalf. State's position on bail.
Your Honor, at this time, the state is recommending a signature bond for Mr. Lawver with the non-monetary conditions that he not use or possess any alcohol.
Any objection?
No, thank you.
I will then give you a signature bond, Mr. Lawver, and I will order during the pendency of this action, you not use or possess any alcohol. We are adjourned. Good luck to you, sir.
Signature bond.
Right. This way, sir.
If this is the only thing holding you, you're gonna get released right now.
When you're ready, KENTAD SOLIS. KENTAD SOLIS. Paper, sir, instead of the legs.
Court will call 25 CF 2684, State of Wisconsin versus KENTAD SOLIS, appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state of Wisconsin.
And Todd Solis appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. He's received a copy of the criminal complaint. We waive its formal reading, stand mute on misdemeanor charges. He's eligible for public defender representation and the address on the complaint is correct.
I have reviewed the criminal complaint. I do make a probable cause finding as to misdemeanors and enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. State's position on bail.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is requesting $2,500 cash bail for Mr. Solis with the non-monetary conditions that he have no contact with Keandre, that's Keandre, last initial I, or excuse me, last initial L, or Curtis, Curtrice, last initial F, and that he be banned from the 6800 block of Milwaukee Street in Madison. Mr. Solis is on bail for a 2021 armed robbery, to my knowledge. It looks like he posted $2,000 after that initial appearance, then failed to appear in February of 2022. He was picked up that warrant. Cash was set again at $2,000, which he posted. Then he failed to appear in November of 2022. He then failed to appear at another hearing in March of 2023. That warrant was quashed in September of 2024. And then he failed to appear on February 17th of this year. A motion to quash again was filed, and Mr. Solis failed to appear at that motion hearing on April 23rd of 2025. Then he was picked up on that warrant. Bail was set at $3,000 on August 18th of this year. Then he filed a bail motion that was reduced to $2,000, which he posted. He was released on September 19th of 2025. And then here is alleged to have committed an Act 3 eligible offense where he's over at the sister of his child's mother to pick up the children. He's not supposed to be in contact with the children. Little then tried to stop him and he punched her in the eyes multiple times. So from the state's perspective, significant cash bail is appropriate given Mr. Solis's history of missed court appearances and the Act 3 eligible conduct. Thank you.
Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Salas is asking that you consider a signature bond here. If Your Honor does believe cash is appropriate, he's asking for no more than $500. That's the very most he is capable of posting here. And his ability to post bail is certainly one of the considerations that the court needs to make in these cases. Mr. Salas does certainly contest the allegations here. They are allegations at this point. He has not been proven guilty. He has lived in Dane County his whole life. He's got essentially his whole family here, including 2 children, who he has full custody of. So he's got significant ties. He's not a flight risk. So we believe a signature bond is more appropriate here. The underlying conduct is misdemeanor in nature. It's the felony bail jumpings that makes this a CF file, but ultimately the conduct being alleged is misdemeanor in nature. So we're asking for either a signature bond or lower cash. Thank you.
There is a PSA report in this case, which gives him 4 out of 6 on new criminal activity, 6 out of 6 out of failure to appear. Ultimately recommends cash bail. He's got 2 or more failures to appear in the past 2 years. He's got prior failures to appear older than 2 years. He's got prior felony convictions or prior convictions. He's got pending charges, obviously, at the time of this offense. This does allege Act 3 eligible offenses with violence. With a lengthy history of failure to appear as described by the state. I think the only way to assure Mr. Solis's appearance at court is to set cash bail. I will set it in the amount of $1,500. I will order no contact with Keandre L. or Curtis F. and that you are banned from the 6800 block of Milwaukee Street. Time limits as to the preliminary hearing, counsel.
Your Honor, we'll keep the time limits. I do know that Attorney Benavides has a hearing with him on December 1st. And so I don't know if we could set this for a status on that date as well.
If he didn't waive the time limits, then we can't. It's got to get set for the prelim so that time limits aren't violated.
Do you know what time limits for prelim so you can schedule it until the other cases?
Yes.
He's willing to waive time limits so this can be scheduled on, sir? You dropped off. Okay.
Sir, stop. Council, does December 1st status conference give enough time for victim compliance?
Yes.
Then we'll note time limits. We'll note that time limits are waived. And we'll schedule this on the December 1st calendar with December 1st at 2 o'clock with the other case. We are adjourned.
I'll just.
Yeah.
When we are ready, Sean Taylor is next.
Thank you.
Sean Taylor. Stand with yellow lights.
Okay, at least for the misdemeanor stuff, not the forfeiture, okay? But
Court will call 24 CM 401 for an initial appearance and 25 FO 2299 State and County of Wisconsin and Dane County versus Sean Taylor appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
Sean Taylor appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada as to the misdemeanor case. He's received a copy of the complaint. It looks like he also has received the forfeiture complaint. We waive its formal reading, stand mute on the misdemeanor charge. He is eligible for public defender representation and the address on the complaint is correct.
I have reviewed the criminal complaint. It does make a probable cause statement. Therefore, I will enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Taylor's behalf. I will also enter a not guilty plea as to his behalf on the ordinance violation. State's position on the criminal matter.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is recommending a signature bond as well as the non-monetary condition that Mr. Taylor have no contact with SYS. It looks like this went out on warrant status back in February of 2024. I don't have any information on whether or not Mr. Taylor got notice at this time. So I do think a signature bond is appropriate.
Sure. We have no objections. Thank you.
I will order a signature bond. I will order no contact with SYS in a band from the 400 block of West Mifflin Street. We are adjourned in Mr. Taylor's case. Good luck to you, sir.
Take care.
When we're ready, Olivia Couillard. Right. Just paperwork, you stand on your lights.
Thanks. Court will call 24 CM 2101 and 24 CM 2691 State of Wisconsin versus Olivia Couillard and 25 FO 2303 Dane County versus Olivia Couillard appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
Olivia Couillard appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. She's received copies of the criminal complaints, understands the charges and maximum penalties. We waive its formal reading. Stand mute on any misdemeanor charges. I don't have note on here whether or not she's eligible for public defender, although she does have attorney Will Anderson in the open files.
And the other one's an ordinance, so.
Oh, yes, thank you.
State's position on bail.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would request $1,000 cash bail in each case with the same non-monetary conditions. It looks like Ms. Couillard failed to appear in December of 2024 before failing to appear on October 27th of this year. It's also my understanding that she pled to a flee and elude causing bodily harm or damage to property in Columbia County. I think that incident date was after the facts of the state's cases here, but it's also my understanding that she did not appear at sentencing for that matter after she pled to it. Currently in warrant status as well in Columbia and Jefferson County. So from the state's perspective, some cash bail is clearly appropriate to ensure appearance.
Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. As for the Ms. Court appearance, Ms. Couillard had indicated that she had struggled to get a ride. She's not actively evading court and trying to not take responsibility. She, and this might ultimately be essentially an academic exercise. I know she has open warrants elsewhere that she will need to resolve. So we're asking that she have a signature bond here so she can be made available to those other counties to resolve those warrants. Thank you.
Looks like there's more than one failure to appear. Cash bail was set. It reverted to a signature bond. Then she failed to appear again and the bench warrants were issued. So we've got December and of last year, and then we've got recently October of this year. Given the multiple missed court appearances, cash bail is necessary to assure Ms. Couillard's appearance at court. I will set cash bail in 24 CM 2101 in the amount of $400. In 24 CM 2691, $400. I will reinstate all non-monetary conditions on both of those cases, and as to the ordinance, I will enter an outright not guilty plea on her behalf. We are adjourned on Ms. Couillard's cases.
This week. When we are ready, then I'll get here to the deck. Will be next for our next position.
I'm going to be raising competency.
Here's the person. Here's the paperwork. Except the yellow lights.
Court will call cases 25 CF 2689 and 25 CM 2833, State of Wisconsin versus Tanaka McPherson, appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
Ms. McPherson appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. Your Honor, she has received paperwork. I have reason to doubt competency in this case, so I would be raising competency at this time. She's not eligible for public defender representation.
We will set bail and then competency exam shall be ordered and suspend all further proceedings. So state's position in regards, I have reviewed the misdemeanor charge. I do make a probable cause finding and enter a not guilty plea on Ms. McPherson's behalf. State's position on bail for these cases.
Your Honor, in the misdemeanor case, the state would request $500 cash bail for Ms. McPherson, as well as the non-monetary conditions that she have no contact with Amy, AMY, last initial S, and that should be banned from the Edgewater Hotel. In the extradition matter, the state would be requesting $2,500 cash bail, given the warrant status out of Indiana.
Counselor.
You can tell me.
That should be is an entity that I'm the sole proprietor of that she's using. That she's using that name, she's using his identity theft.
Thank you, appreciate it. Your Honor, we would be asking for signature bonds in this case. I don't believe that Ms. McPherson is able to post any amount of cash bond here. I understand that there is the extradition. However, Ms. McPherson indicates her willingness to appear in court. We're asking that you consider a signature bond in these cases. Thank you.
I note that the address listed on the criminal complaints an Illinois address. The extraditions out of Indiana were here in Wisconsin. Given the charges as alleged and the wanted status from another state, I do believe cash bail is necessary to assure Ms. McPherson's appearance. In the misdemeanor matter, I will set cash bail in the amount of $300. I will order that you have no contact with Amy S. You have no contact and are banned from the Edgewater. In the felony matter, I will order $2,000 cash bail. I will suspend all further proceedings and order a competency exam at this time. We are adjourned in Ms. McPherson's cases.
Thank you.
Myself.
Number ready, next will be JORDAN HARTWIG.
Much easier when you can just order competency evals. In Brown County, it would have to go up to the judge who would then order the competency eval.
Oh, really?
Why do we have to?
How do they take care of the proceedings then?
They would just send it up to the branch and then, set bond like you did, but then,
But they don't order it right away. They
Right.
wait till the next court hearing? Or
Yeah,
Judge
schedule-
issues a ruling or?
Yeah, they schedule a hearing in the branch where you would have to raise competency again to the judge and the judge decide whether or not to order it.
Are they stuck in custody the entire time?
Normally, unless they get out on a signature bond. Like an unnecessary stopover.
Correct. Correct.
Stand up, no.
Total call 24 CM 1414 for a bail hearing and 25 FO 2302. Dane County versus Jordan Hartwig and the state of Wisconsin versus Jordan Hartwig. Appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
Jordan Hartwig appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada. She's received a copy of the criminal complaint, understands the charges, maximum penalties. Thank you.
In regards to the ordinance violation, I will enter a not guilty plea on Ms. Hartwig's behalf and have that track along with the misdemeanor case. State's position as to bail on the 24 CM 1414 matter.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the state would request $750 cash bail for Ms. Hartwig. It looks like this is her only criminal case that I can see. It also appears as though she failed to appear on September 5th of last year, February 26th of this year, as well as October 29th of this year. It's not the most serious case in the world. It's essentially an overdose where Ms. Hartwig did have drug paraphernalia on her at that time. She was revived with Narcan. But given the appearance history here, cash bail has been set multiple times. It looks like in June, Commissioner, you added an additional $250 cash bail to Ms. Hartwig's bail before she then failed to appear at the next hearing. So from the state's perspective, additional cash is appropriate.
Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're asking that you consider a signature bond in this case. I'm looking at the history of this file. It looks like a total of $750 was posted and then forfeited at the last missed court appearance, which was on October 29th of this year. So I think that is in its own right a serious financial penalty for Ms. Hartwig. She's eligible for public defender representation, does not have any additional amount to post in terms of a cash bond. So we believe a signature bond would be appropriate here. Ultimately, we have 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. Her maximum penalty for those would be 60 days jail total. I certainly would hate to see Ms. Hartwig stuck in the jail on a cash bond because any amount of cash would keep her in the county jail. My guess is that likely she would end up serving more time than what ends up being time served in this case. And so I believe that with that in mind, she's asking that you consider another signature bond here. As for notice, It's unclear to me how that was given. I know that there was a request to reschedule her hearing once she got counsel that was granted. So I don't believe that notice was given to her in hand. And she did not have notice of that court hearing. It has only been about, a little less than a month since that hearing. So it's not like she's been on the run for a long time. She's asking that you please consider signature bond.
Do you have an address update?
Where would you best address for you be?
5804 Juniper Ridge, McFarland, Wisconsin, with below
5804
Juniper,
Juniper Ridge.
McFarland, Wisconsin.
That's what they have.
What's that?
That's the address on record.
You're asking, I'm sorry, you're asking my old address or my,
That's the address that is listed currently on record.
oh, okay, well, I can give you more than now.
No, that's what we wanted is your mailing address, if that's the best mailing address for you.
No, I give you my best, yeah, I thought you wanted to I got my permit. No, I'm somewhere else now.
Okay, what
Sorry,
would
so-
you like the court to use as a mailing address for you?
Yes, it's 5808 Balsam Road. I'm living with a friend who's helping me a lot.
And Balsam Road is what address?
It's off of Raymond Road,
In Madison.
Madison.
Do you know the zip code?
I don't know the zip code actually, that's kind of basic.
In regards to notice for that last hearing, it was sent to that address on file, the Juniper Ridge one. And I can say that you failed to appear 4 times on this case: September 6th, February 26th, March 14th, October 29th. After February 26th, they set $500 cash bail. You failed to appear again. It was increased by 250 at the March, because you failed to appear March 14th for 750. So you had 750 cash bail and you still failed to appear. Ms. Hartwig, I don't see you appearing without cash bail. Given your history, I don't believe that. I believe you are definitely a flight risk to appear. Therefore, I'm setting cash bail. I'm going to set the cash bail in the amount of $300 on this case.
Yeah.
And reinstate all non-monetary conditions. We are adjourned.
All right, right this way. Next is Nicole Banks for Belmont. This Banks. You stand on the yellow list.
Court calls 25 CF 1464, State of Wisconsin versus Nicole Banks. Appearances.
Jack Schneider for the state.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nicole Banks appears in person and in custody with Brianna Zawada.
Is there a best mailing address to update for the court?
The address I have is 323 North High Street. It's 333, my apologies, we had it wrong. 333 North High Street, Janesville, Wisconsin, 52545.
State's position on bail.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would recommend $500 cash bail for Ms. Banks. It looks like she failed to appear at her initial appearance in June 26th. That hearing was adjourned for personal service. She then failed to appear at initial appearance on July 28th. She received a signature bond on August 1st after she was picked up on that warrant. Showed up for a preliminary hearing before failing to appear on October 6th of this year. So I think some cash bail is appropriate given the missed court appearances.
Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Banks is asking that you consider a signature bond in this case. It would have to be a signature bond because it looks like that was forfeited for $500 in the up in the branch. And so that would be an additional financial loss for Ms. Banks here. Ms. Banks indicates to me that she was in the hospital at the time of the missed court appearance. She was in the ICU for about 3 weeks. She was released and pretty soon had to go back to the hospital. So it sounds like there were some serious health concerns for her that prevented her appearance in court. The CCAP notes do reflect that she called and left a message with the branch indicating her hospitalization at the time. It appears the court tried to call her back, but no answer. That's not terribly surprising if she was in the ICU. And so I believe that there were certain circumstances here that prevented her appearing in court. She's got significant ties to this area. She's lived in Dane County her whole life. She's got her whole family here. She's not on the run. She's not purposefully trying to evade court. It sounds like there were just health circumstances preventing her appearance. So we're asking that you consider a signature bond.
There's a PSA report originally at the beginning of this case, which gives her 2 out of 6 on new criminal activity and 1 out of 6 on failure to appear. It actually indicates that Ms. Banks has 0 criminal history. I'm not overly thrilled with her multiple failures to appear. It doesn't bode well for her appearing at future court dates, but given her age, the nature of this crime, and the lack of criminal history, I'm going to give her one last chance to appear on her own. If you don't appear for court, you're going to get cash bail in the future. You're going to end up sitting in jail and you don't want that. You need to make sure you make your court appearances. We're going to give you a signature bond. When you're saying it was forfeited and she lost the money, that's a signature bond of $500. There was no money to forfeit. She didn't lose anything financially yet.
Thank you.
I'm going to give her one more chance, and this is basically because of your clean record that I think the court's going to make another gamble on you, and hopefully you'll appear for court in the future because I don't want to see you here in custody again. I'll also reinstate all non-monetary conditions. We are adjourning Ms. Banks' case. Take care.
That's it for me.
I got a Jason Morgan.
What is done earlier? Awesome.
We're done.
There's still 2 copies of that.
No problem.
Morgan and Jason Ford.
We just got Demetra then. Perfect. Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too. Thank you.
I was informed Demetria Umlaw was jail.
We'll enter a not guilty plea. Set it for further proceedings.
Sounds good to me.
It's a Christmas. Never.
Yeah.
Not a problem. All right, thanks, everyone.
You too.
Just go to the bathroom quick.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No, no problem.